I'm here with my friend Kim. Kim is a local caterer here in Hartwell, and she works with a lot of parties, and she's even done TV shows. Yeah, that was really exciting. We had a TV show in Hartwell. I don't know if you knew that. We're important like that. So you can find Kim on Facebook at Kim in the Kitchen. And the reason I brought her here today, or actually I'm at her house, is I don't really do a lot of cooking. My husband is my personal chef, which makes me a really lucky girl, but I'm also really lucky to know people like Kim. And Kim's gonna help me show you a recipe for using produce from your garden. Today we're gonna do something called Florida salad, and I'm gonna let Kim tell you all about what that is.
Well, we talked a long time about why do we call this Florida salad. This is something that we had growing up, especially on cold nights. We would whip this up really quickly. And a few days ago I called Mom and I asked her, why do we call this Florida salad? And she said, oh, I don't know, you guys just started doing that. And so I don't know if it was from a newspaper clip or what, but there's nothing about it that's necessarily from Florida, and it's definitely not a salad. It's really sort of a soup, and it is very simple. It has cabbage, tomatoes, bell pepper, and bacon. And you would, some people might think, oh, I don't like cabbage, or I don't like, bell pepper, but the bacon really sort of puts you over the top. But it's simple to make, and if you're ready, we'll get started.
Yeah, I think we should just dive in. So what do we do first?
Okay, the first thing I like to do is to chop up the produce and get that going, simmering in the pot.
Okay.
And then we'll move on to the bacon and show you how all of that works.
Sounds like a plan.
But the first thing you would do, I've already washed the cabbage, and so we would just take off the few outer leaves. I've already pulled a few off and put them in for my pigs to have breakfast this morning. But what I like to do is I take the cabbage and I sort of put it up on its side like this, and just very quickly just chop down the sides.
Turn that.
And then I take about maybe a third of the top off of the cabbage, and so you're left with, of course, the little core. And so then you're left with the 4/4 and a little bit of core, and then you just sort of roughly chop. Just think about, like, when you're chopping, what you kind of would like to have on a fork size. That's always really important to me, that things are sort of consistent in the size. So we just chop this up. Do you want to chop any of it?
Sure, I can do that.
Yeah.
Really stir this cabbage.
I know.
So how many people do you think this will feed?
This will feed, I would say, easily a family of 4. Usually when I make this, I call my sisters and brothers and everyone, and we usually have about 10 or 12. And so, we might do 2 or 3 heads of cabbage, 2 packs of bacon. We're making it in a pot this big.
Right.
So it's really all to taste. If you don't like a lot of bell pepper, just take it out. But it just adds a nice layer of flavor to it. But I definitely would not leave out the bacon.
Yeah.
It's what makes it worth living.
Yeah. So your piggies are not for bacon, though.
No.
I mean, they're potbellies. So.
Yeah. No. People ask me that all the time. They're like, are you going to eat them? I'm like, no. They're pets. But I know it can.
Did you name them?
Yes, their names are Squilly Nelson and Hamilton Pot Pie. And they're very much characters. They have distinct personalities, and
yeah,
I just love them. I had a pig growing up, and I loved her very much. And so I don't know why. Maybe
Was it a Potbelly?
No, it was a farm pig. It got to about 600 pounds.
Yeah, those things were big.
Yeah, she was a big girl.
So you didn't like play with her?
Well, I did. In fact, even as she got bigger, she would still try to, like, sit on me or
oh my goodness.
So
That's funny.
yeah,
You could have been smushed.
I could have been smushed. Like, when we decided like what we were going to try to make for this, I was just like, what would be something that people could identify as something comforting, but especially with like the crazy weather we have, it's like, what is comforting when it's 80 degrees one day and 45 the next?
And then it snows. Yeah.
So then it snows. So this is just something that it just brings back a comforting feeling from growing up. So I thought we would give it a shot.
It's a good choice.
So we probably have about a tablespoon of bacon grease in here. So if you want to go ahead and put in the bell pepper. So we're getting pretty close here as far as the cabbage getting completely done. One thing that you might want to do, my sister does this, you can take just a pinch of sugar and just sort of mix that in there. It just sort of takes the edge off of the cabbage. It's totally up to you if you like to do that. It seems like sometimes you can get a cabbage that might be a little bitter, but that just sort of takes the edge off. So we're practically done.
So good.
And so at this point, what we would do is right before we would serve, we would take our reserved crunchy bacon, which is over here, and you just pour the whole thing in there.
Dump it in.
Just the whole thing.
Not gonna put it up.
Well, not gonna make sure it tastes good. And then you just want to give it just a little stir, just to mix it in.
Good.
And there you have it.
Yum.
Yep. It's really good on a cold night. One thing that we always made, which we're not making today, is Mexican cornbread to go with it, which has, the corn and the chili powder and the cheddar and these two things and a glass of sweet tea. This is childhood.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can't wait to eat it. Let's have a bowl.
Okay. Guys, just clean up your sides a little.
Look at that.
There you have it.
Yum, yum.
Florida salad.
It looks really good. All right, let's eat.
And have the bacon.
And a tomato. What am I thinking?
Yeah. Aren't you Mrs. Tomato? That's what two of my friends actually do. Anytime we have a party, they say, "Are Mr. and Mrs. Tomato coming?" It's good?
It's very good.
All right.
Delicious. Thank you. I'd love to do this again.
Yeah,
what do you
sure.
think?
We'll
I'd
do
love
this
to
again.
keep doing this again. And if y'all have any suggestions, any recipes, maybe a certain type of produce you want to learn how to cook or something,
that would be fun.
we can take suggestions and we'll come up with something delicious. And I will make sure that you guys have the recipe and everything written down, a printable recipe, so that you can make your own Florida salad. All right. Thanks, Kim.
This is exciting.